Hello and welcome back to the channel, where today I am going to be reviewing The Lesser Devil by Christopher Ruocchio, which apparently it is book 1.5 in the Suneater series, which is part of the read-along that I am doing this year with Ian from B&B Books. And if you haven't checked my review of the first book, Empire of Silence, and the live chat that Ian and I had after reading the first book, please do so. I am meant to be reading book 2, which I've already got there on that shelf over there, The Howling Dark, as soon as I finish a book that I'm halfway through now. But anyway, so The Lesser Devil being Brother Crispin from book 1 in Empire of Silence. So because House Marlowe, as you may or may not be aware, in book 1, the sigil of the house is a devil or some kind of devilish looking thing. The Lesser Devil being the younger brother of Hadrian, the main protagonist in Empire of Silence. So we follow Crispin here in sort of like a side quest type thing. So the action takes place quite a few years after the events of Empire of Silence, or kind of maybe concurrent, because Empire of Silence takes quite a few years for the whole action to take place, because we've got space travel and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, time has moved on since Hadrian left House Marlowe, and we follow Brother Crispin and new sibling, young lady, as they unravel some kind of plot to overthrow House Marlowe. And Crispin is presented in a slightly more positive light than he was in book 1. Now, possibly the key question here is this book necessary to understand, to follow the whole story in Suneater? And the answer is, I don't know. I have not read the whole of Suneater. I haven't read book 2. I haven't got a clue whether the events in this book will have any bearing or any resonance further on down the series. I suspect that the answer is no, that it's not necessary to read this. This is a self-contained story. It kind of wraps up everything in there, and it's just some exploration of Brother Crispin. That's not to say that Crispin is not going to feature in later books in the series, but that the events here don't have any significance on the main story of Suneater. That is my guess. Furthermore, this book, I believe, is actually self-published. It's a self-published thing. There's no publishing details here. I think this is a made-to-order, made-to-print, straight-to Kindle sort of thing. So I guess in that regard, it is not fundamental to the story. Now, I don't know if because of that I found some fairly major issues with the plot of the story. There are some very glaring plot conveniences and Deus Ex Machina moments in here that if you take this book for what it's worth and at face value and for what it's meant to do, you can sort of ignore. But let's be honest here, in any other book, in any published book, if our main character was trapped in some sort of cave system, waiting to make a final stand against the invaders, and all of a sudden, in said cave system, we very plot conveniently found a stash of weapons that were left there in case there are potential invaders from outer space coming in. We will go, and that's exactly what happens in here. Plus, there's a couple more things. So, a little bit screechy, a little bit like, anyway. And also, thematically, it is very heavy-handed on the Christian Catholic aspect. I don't know, maybe Christopher Ruocchio is a firm believer, which is fine by me. Whatever religion he cares to follow or not follow, I don't know. But I find it interesting that in this world that is meant to happen, or the action that is meant to take place thousands of years in the future, there is still in some outer planet a community of devoted Christian Catholic people that follow the precepts and the rituals of the Roman Catholic Church, and they still speak French, and they still have French-sounding names. A little bit weird. I don't know, that may be the case in the future, but I suspect that thousands of years in the future, either we will all be speaking English or Chinese, but Chinese is too complicated, so probably English or some kind of weird mixture of a language evolution. Not French. Nothing against the French. They make decent bread. But yeah, so all in all, is right. You can take it or leave it. There is nothing to call home excited about here, and it's short enough that if you don't enjoy it, you don't have to plow through unnecessary filler. So all in all, yeah, I'm okay that I read it. It is part of the whole universe that I want to get more. I really want to dive into Suneater. So there's another novella that sits between books 2 and 3, and I'll be picking that up as well. So yeah, that is my review, my take, my thoughts, my opinions on The Lesser Devil by Christopher Ruocchio. Incidentally, cover art by Christopher Ruocchio's uncle. So keep it all in the family. And like I said, I'll be picking up Howling Dark, hopefully, at some point next week. The idea was to read it in March. I may or may not finish it in March, but definitely in April we'll be doing the live discussion to discuss. There you go. The Howling Dark, which apparently is where the whole thing takes off, and is a much better book than Empire of Silence. But anyway, that's all I've got for today. As usual, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. Take loads and loads of care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.